Hi there and welcome to Honeybee U Tarot. My name is Melissa. Thank you for being here. Welcome back to those of you who have been with me before. As you know, we are dialoguing with the Major Arcana. And for those of you who are new, everything that you need to know about working with me, contacting me, this particular reading is in the description box, including the journal questions that are coming from this little book. It's a great little book. Journaling the Tarot, a little book of big questions from Andy Matzner. He has several great books. Not sure what the right pronoun is. Andy has written several great books for utilizing the tarot as a tool for personal growth and exploration. So I'm pulling two questions from his journal prompts, or Andy's journal prompts. I'm sorry, Andy, I didn't even ask you what pronoun you use. For the tarot, for journaling the tarot. For each card, I will be doing that. So anything else you need to know will be in the description box. Okay, so I have extensively shuffled, cleared and cleansed my space, my cards. I will do a few more shuffles online. But today we're going to dialogue with the Magician. Okay, so let's see what the Magician has to say. The first question I want to know is, how have we, the collective, been utilizing the Magician energy in the highest, there we go, manifestation? Interesting. Okay, we got the Fool card. Interesting, because yesterday we had the opposite. We looked at the Fool and we got the Magician, right? In one of those, in one of the positions. It wasn't this particular question, right? Okay, so this is the 5-cent tarot, and it has little animal representations. It's got flowers. It's very springy, you know, kind of thought I would use it. So anyway, the Fool, it also has words here. So the words are spontaneity, free spirit, risk, naivete, new beginnings. Okay. The Fool is about pure potentiality. It's about trusting in spirit from a place of pure inspiration. The Fool doesn't know what the Fool doesn't know, so it's just completely free. And so getting the Fool for me from the Magician card, right? Highest manifestation. The Magician has wand, I'm sorry. Okay, so Mr. Barky McBarkleston will wake you up, won't he? All right, so I was talking about the Magician who has the wand, okay, in his hand, and it's pointing up towards the heaven, right, or the spiritual realms, and then he has his finger pointing down here towards earth. On the table, he has all of the symbols that represent, the elements. So we have earth, our coin, our emotions, or water. We have cups. We have the, let's see, we have the wand here for fire, and we have the swords here for air or mental. And here's like kind of like your spiritual passions, excitement, that kind of thing in the wands. Okay, so highest manifestation is taking the Magician, acts as a conduit as well as a physical representation, I believe, physical representation of the masculine's embodiment of all the potential of spirit, right? Of all the potential. He's a masculine representation, the divine masculine. I've got the magician, everyone's got the magician at their disposal. And it takes the inspiration, takes the spiritual, the potential, maybe even its own spark, and it understands, spark of inspiration, understands that it's going to require the masculine assertive energy to utilize all the tools that are on the table to bring them to reality. We don't wait like for something to land, you know, on a cloud and come to us. Like we have to work with spirit in order to create. So it's co-creating, and it's that masculine assertive energy, right? So we've got all of this yellow that we talked about yesterday, the solar plexus, you know, will, the willpower, action, empowerment to move forward. And he's wearing this red cloak, right? So he's bringing into his reality whatever we want that makes us feel safe, secure, protected, capable of moving through our journey, right? Okay, so that is how we have used it or can use it collectively from its highest potential, okay? So we manifest understanding our role as a co-creator, okay? And what the next question is, collectively, how have we utilized this energy in the more shadow? Okay. So we have the Four of Matches. Interesting. Really interesting. Four of Matches with the Two of Matches at the bottom of the deck. So this would be the Four of Wands card. I love it. There's bumblebees all over it. Kind of want to frame that. That's such a cute depiction, right? The words on the card are celebration, achievement, harmony, also inhibition, uncertainty, leaving home. So for me, there is the how do I want to say this? There's the potential to become complacent after achieving or establishing some certain goal or some certain manifestation, right? Like maybe you got through school, you found your true love, you got married, you had the kids, you built the house, you've got the cars, you know what I mean? Like you built, and then to forget and to just become sort of like complacent and even stop dreaming or being inspired or moving towards creating something new, right? Like, how can I describe this? It's almost like becoming, kind of stuck and people say this all the time, like, I have nothing to complain about. I have everything anyone could ever need or want, and yet they're feeling, you know, sort of uninspired, disenchanted. They are trying to fill up their lives or get a spark of that excitement and joy from other things, like, you know, shopping, let's say, or having affairs, or, you know, just even if you think of like the midlife crisis, right? There's something there that kind of, that magic went away. Like, I've created everything, now what? What am I supposed to, right? And so that could be the more shadow manifestation, but also looks like potentially not moving towards or feeling uncertain about one's own sense of power and one's own sense of being connected to something that says, because you're here, right? Because you are embodied, you have everything that you need. You just need to take those masculine, divine masculine, those male, masculine, I don't know how to say this, action steps, right? Later we'll talk about the high priestess, where she's more of the feminine and the receptive. Okay, so we're working with both of these energies, or trying to create wholeness, but we have these two different dynamics and energies at play. And so it could be, you know, as a collective, we can get complacent in like what we have, and then, or what we've known, or what is good enough, and we just won't or don't push that envelope. Think I'm having this moment where I'm like, okay, it's sort of like the difference between the 80s, right? Like, what does he say? In that movie, Wall Street, greed is something. So that's like overconsumption and, you know, more is more. That's not really what I'm talking about. Like, can we be inspired to do more, we'll say, for our community, right? So we have the bees here. Maybe moving more into, we've filled our own cup and we can be more generous or more creative to help the community, but also to understand life. The purpose of our life, the meaning for our lives from a higher perspective. I hope that made sense. Okay. Okay, so that's those two cards. Now, the two questions that I'm choosing, and I will put these in the description box, are: what must you do in order to further grow? And how can you free yourself from your past conditioning? Okay, that's one question. So what must you do in order to further grow, and how can you free yourself from your past conditioning? The second one is, what is it about success that frightens you? Where might the roots of those fears lie, and how might you best address them? Okay, So let's look at the first one. What must you do in order to further grow? And for these questions, I'm using the Cosmic Tarot. Okay. What must you do in order to further grow? What must we do in order to further grow? We are asking the Magician. And the card flipped. Let's see. No, a card flipped. I know it did. Did it? There we go. Ooh. Interesting. So if we're looking at this as a reading for in the moment, right? We've got the Three of Swords with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is about, for me, there is an acceptance of a truth that possibly came to light and it was heartbreaking, right? Sometimes we have to accept certain things, let them feel the pain of that, grieve through it, and become stronger, wiser for it so that we can move forward, right? So that we can say, you know, through this experience, I have grown, I have learned more about myself, I've learned more about life, I am no longer, you know, naive about a certain situation. You know, I know that I have the power to decide, to choose how am I going to make this pain a part of my wisdom, a part of my growth. I mean, we decide that, right? So we've got the Queen of Swords, and underneath her, the Strength card, okay? And the second question, how can you free yourself from your past conditioning? Okay, past conditioning, right? So the Queen of Swords at one time was trapped in past programming, past beliefs, things that were passed on to her. But through her experiences, she learned to cut herself free from those limiting beliefs that disempowered her, and she took back her voice, and she takes back her own inner truth and her knowing based on her own experience. And she just doesn't, you know, she doesn't play around. So how can you free yourself from your past conditioning? We've got the Moon. Okay. Two of Pentacles. Okay, so we have balance. In the background, you can see the ship has the yin-yang symbol. There is a how can you free yourself from your past conditioning? Okay, so for me, the Two of Pentacles can be about balancing. He seems to be very, to be walking, he's got his hand on his chest. He's almost like sensing his next step. You know, what does he want his next step to be? What choices feel right for him? and then we have the moon at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So it's kind of like going within and doing the work necessary to look at what holds us back, what keeps us from believing in ourselves and our ability to create, to believe in ourselves, to believe in life, and our ability to create what we desire. Sometimes it's hard to choose. Sometimes it's hard to make a choice, right? Because we're afraid it could piss people off, or we're afraid of, making the wrong choice. What is that based on? Who decides what's right and who decides what's wrong? That's from programming. But if we can, get in touch with our heart space and sense, using intuition, using our own sense of self and truth, digging deep, illuminating what maybe we keep hidden from ourselves, or maybe things that we've not only suppressed but repressed. We have no conscious awareness of it. Is there a conscious, is there something, some painful truth? I'm looking at these two cards. That we're trying to navigate, that we're trying to work through, or that we're trying to deal with while maintaining our balance and our physical stability, right? Okay. And what is it about success that frightens you? Now we're looking at the second question. Okay, so dialoguing with the magician. What is it about success that frightens you? The Emperor at the bottom of the deck. King of Swords. With the Ten of Cups. Wow, that's interesting. What is it about success that frightens you? This is Libran energy. Libras always want, they can see all of the options, right? So sometimes they can get super up in their head and feel unable to make choices or decisions. They want everything to be fair. And so it looks like it could be what's coming to me here. So if you're watching this for a reading, what's coming to me here is if if I get everything that I wish for, right, might I become complacent? Might I become bored? It's almost like, do I have, could I be, well, bored, yes, but could I be even like, am I willing to make mistakes in my pursuit for all the, my joy and my bliss? Could even be, will what makes me happy and fulfill all my wishes, and with another, because it's 10 of Cups, will that be acceptable to others? Like, if the Emperor, it can be the patriarchy, it can be, cultural rules and norms, it can be a father figure even, but it's also a sense of, authority and empowerment. If I speak my truth, and if I make a plan to move towards what I want, is it acceptable by this energy? I don't know about you, but she looks so different than some of the other 10 of Cups. To me, she looks a little bored. She looks a little like meh. It's almost like the striving keeps her going, and now it's like, oh, yeah, I've got everything, talking about that sort of shadow side of the Magician. Okay, what's the next question? Where might the roots of those fears lie? Okay, where might the roots of those fears lie? Okay. 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So that's 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So we've got the Saturnian energy. 8 of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. So it could be that once upon a time, I did make a choice. I did move towards what I thought I wanted, and I feel when I see this particular card and this particular deck and this particular image, I see a lot of regret and remorse, a lot of sort of, how did I get here? Since, the ship, I think there's a shipwreck in the back, but potentially, I don't know what it is. I don't know why he still has all his clothes on, but if it was a shipwreck, but he's down alone by the waterfront, And the looks like wind, a little bit of wind is blowing through or something in the background. And he's deep in thought, you know. Could require a lot of work. Where might the roots of these fears lie? Past struggles, other periods in this person's life where they made choices, where they felt that they were doing what they needed to do in order to have wish fulfillment, to move towards that Nine of Cups. And, you know, the wheel turned on them. Maybe it didn't play out the way they thought it would. It was hard. It was hard work. It was a struggle. How might you best address them? Okay, how might you best address these fears? You know, if you were to talk to your best friend who made some mistakes in the past and now wants to manifest something, now wants to create something, now wants to feel that sense of success. And they're like, yeah, but look at all the other times. I mean, what would you say to that person? How might you best address them? How much you best address the fears? Okay. Now, Eight of Wands. I mean, my God. Take action, right? Get in the flow. Action Jackson. Also communicate. You know, this can be about communication. It also looks like this could be somebody that wants to move towards a relationship, a fulfilling relationship. We've got the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and underneath that, our good friend, the Magician. So I feel like if you're watching this for a reading, it looks like, at least here, that someone wants to move into potentially marriage, or a very successful, loving, Ten of Cups kind of energy, but they're afraid. They have maybe walked away or walked towards that in the past, and maybe it just didn't pan out, or maybe they've, you know, done this multiple times, who knows, and so they're really kind of bringing, you know, like doing a little reflecting and weighing things out in their mind. In regret and remorse. I cannot help to see this card in that way. And, you know, taking action, maybe communicating, maybe, you know, understanding that this is available to us. If we're inspired, we have everything that we need. You know, we have to take that wand and we have to recognize our body as kind of like the lightning rod and say, okay, so through this channel, through myself, I can create what I want. So what's the first step? Create joy and stability in my life. All right, so that's that. Let's get one more card to finish up working or dialoguing with the Magician today. Thank you so much. Magician. Oh, well, Lord bless. That's not going to work. Look at Pig's Fly, or Pig Spirit. Okay. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle from Collette, Barron, Reid. Spirit Animal Oracle from Collette, Barron, Reid. What else do you want us to know? I'm working with the Magician's spirit energy. Any other messages that you want to leave us with? Okay, I'm going to take these. Take this one. Wow. We got this yesterday, but in the reverse. And today we have it upright. Ant Spirit. Time to collaborate. All right, let's read it in the upright. When Ant Spirit comes to a visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Right? Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline, like meditation, to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you, everything is working to support you right now. So, okay, that's what we have for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to take some time, just kind of reflect on these questions. Leave me a comment, drop me a like, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow where we will be discussing or dialoguing with the High Priestess. Okay, be well. Bye-bye.